I never expected to find myself standing in front of a dilapidated barn at the age of 27, clutching a rusty key and questioning every life choice that had led me to this moment. The August heat bore down mercilessly as I stared at my inheritance, 200 acres of supposedly worthless land that my family couldn't believe I'd actually accepted. Sarah's lost her mind. I'd overheard my sister Amanda tell our mother at the reading of Grandpa Joe's will, who chooses a rundown farm over a cash inheritance. But something in Grandpa's eyes during our last conversation had told me there was more to this property than anyone realized. He called me to his hospital room 3 days before he passed, his weathered hands gripping mine with surprising strength. "The farm, Sarah," he'd whispered, his voice rough but urgent. "Take the farm. Remember what I taught you about looking beneath the surface." Now, watching the prairie grass wave in the hot wind, I wondered if my family might be right. The main house needed major repairs. The fences were falling apart, and this barn, while it looked like it might collapse if someone sneezed too hard. My phone buzzed, another text from Amanda. "Mom's worried about you. It's not too late to sell that wasteland and split my inheritance with you. Be reasonable for once." I silenced the phone and pulled out Grandpa's key. The barn door groaned in protest as I pushed it open, sending dust motes dancing in the sunbeams that pierced the old roof. The interior smelled of aged wood and memories, summer afternoons helping Grandpa repair farm equipment, him teaching me about engines while my sister and cousins played video games inside. "You've got oil in your veins, just like me," he'd say proudly, while Mom fretted about me being a tomboy, and Dad urged me to focus more on my business degree. The barn looked empty at first glance, just some old tools hanging on the walls, piles of weathered lumber, and a rusty tractor that hadn't run in years. But Grandpa's words echoed in my mind, looking beneath the surface. I ran my hands along the walls, remembering how he taught me to check for hidden problems in engine blocks. "Sometimes the real story isn't what you can see, Sarah. It's what's hidden underneath." Near the back wall, my fingers caught on something, a slight irregularity in the wooden planks. Pressing harder, I felt it give slightly. There was a click and a section of the flooring shifted. My heart pounding, I pulled up the loose boards. Underneath was a metal hatch with a combination lock. The numbers were worn, but I recognized the style, the same type Grandpa used on his workshop, where he kept his prized tools. I closed my eyes thinking, what would he have used? Not his birthday, too obvious. Not mine, he wouldn't risk my sister or cousins guessing it. Then I remembered. The year he bought this farm, 1962. He told me the story countless times about how everyone said he was crazy to buy this worthless piece of land. The lock clicked open. The hatch was heavy, but years of helping Grandpa with farm work had made me stronger than my family gave me credit for. As it swung up, I found myself staring down into darkness. My phone's flashlight revealed a steep set of stairs leading underground. This wasn't just a cellar. The walls were lined with concrete, and thick electrical cables snaked along the ceiling. At the bottom of the stairs, I found a metal door with another keypad. This time, I didn't hesitate. 1962 again. The room beyond took my breath away. Banks of old computers lined the walls, their screens dark but still connected. Blueprints and technical drawings covered a massive workbench. And there, in the center of it all, stood something straight out of science fiction. A large cylindrical device bristling with gauges and dials. "Oh, Grandpa," I whispered. "What were you working on down here?" A leather-bound journal sat on the workbench. Opening it, I recognized Grandpa's precise handwriting. Project Aurora, Sustainable Energy Initiative Lead Engineer. Joseph Carter. Date: March 15, 1962. After years of research, I believe I finally discovered the key to clean, unlimited energy. The geological formation beneath this farm is unique, a perfect combination of mineral deposits that, when properly stimulated, could generate electromagnetic fields powerful enough to revolutionize how we harness energy. The government showed interest initially, but they wanted to weaponize it. I couldn't let that happen. So I bought this land, built this facility, and continued my work in secret. My granddaughter Sarah is the only one who might understand. She has the same spark, the same ability to see beyond the obvious. My hands shook as I turned the pages. Detailed calculations, experimental data, and intricate diagrams filled the journal. This wasn't the ramblings of an old farmer. This was breakthrough science, decades ahead of its time. A sealed envelope fell from between the pages. My name was written on it in Grandpa's hand. Dear Sarah, if you're reading this, you found my life's work. The others think I'm just a simple farmer who got lucky buying cheap land. Let them think that. You always understood there was more. You asked the right questions, saw the potential others missed. What lies beneath this farm could change the world, but only if used wisely. The mineral deposits create a natural electromagnetic generator. I built this facility to harness it. The technology works, but I could never perfect it alone. All my research is here, along with the patents I never filed. The computer drives contain decades of data. Trust your instincts just like you did when you chose this worthless farm over cash. Don't tell the family yet. Some things need to grow in shadow before they can survive in light. Love, Grandpa Joe. I sank into his old work chair, mind racing. This wasn't just an inheritance, it was a responsibility. A legacy. While everyone else saw worthless land, Grandpa had seen the future, and he trusted me to carry it forward. My phone buzzed again. This time it was my father. Sarah, this stubborn streak has gone on long enough. No one's going to buy that farm except maybe for the mineral rights. Stop playing farmer and come back to the real world. Mineral rights. If he only knew. I looked around the hidden lab, at years of brilliant work just waiting to be continued. Then I pulled out my laptop and opened a new document. First step, catalog everything. Second, understand the research. Third, figure out how to turn this hidden breakthrough into something that could help people. But the real work would be keeping it secret until I was ready. Because what my family didn't know, what no one knew, was that this worthless farm was about to change everything. And the sister they dismissed as impractical was the key to it all. For the next 6 months, I lived 2 lives. By day, I was the stubborn daughter who foolishly clung to a worthless farm. By night, I delved into Grandpa's research, teaching myself advanced physics and electrical engineering through online courses while decoding his brilliant work. The underground lab became my second home. I upgraded the old computers, carefully transferred decades of data to modern systems, and spent countless hours studying the strange device in the center of the room. Grandpa's notes revealed it was a prototype electromagnetic field generator, designed to tap into the unique mineral formation beneath the farm. My sister Amanda dropped by unannounced one afternoon, probably sent by our parents to check on me. She found me in overalls, covered in dirt from repairing the barn's roof. "Oh, Sarah," she sighed, designer purse dangling from her arm. "This is getting ridiculous. You're living like a hermit out here. Did you even know Morgan Stanley offered me a promotion? I'm moving to their London office next month." I nodded absently, my mind on the breakthrough I'd had last night. Grandpa's electromagnetic field calculations needed just one adjustment to achieve stable energy output. "That's great, Amanda. Really great. Are you even listening? Look at yourself." She gestured at my work clothes. "You have an MBA from Cornell, and you're playing farmer. Mom's right, you're having some kind of quarter-life crisis." If she only knew I'd spent the previous night running complex simulations on quantum electromagnetic fields. "I'm fine, Amanda. The farm is fine." "The farm is not fine. It's falling apart. And so is your life." She pulled out her phone, showing me photos of expensive London apartments. "Come to London with me. I can help you get a real job in finance. Stop wasting your time here." I thought about the patent applications I'd secretly filed last week, about the promising early tests of Grandpa's device, about the emails from 3 major energy companies expressing interest in my theoretical papers on sustainable electromagnetic power generation. "I appreciate the offer," I said carefully, "but I'm exactly where I need to be." After she left, I returned to the lab. The prototype was finally ready for a full test. I'd spent weeks checking every calculation, every connection. The mineral deposits beneath the farm created a natural electromagnetic chamber. Grandpa's genius was in finding a way to harness it safely. I initiated the startup sequence, watching as the gauges came alive. The cylinder hummed, electromagnetic fields building exactly as predicted. Power readings climbed steadily. Then everything went wrong. The lights flickered. Alarms blared. The cylinder's hum turned into a dangerous whine. I lunged for the emergency shutdown, but not before a massive power surge shot through the system. The entire farm went dark. So did the neighboring properties. When I emerged from the lab, I found police cars and utility trucks at my gate. Ma'am, a utility worker approached. We detected a massive power anomaly centered on your property. We need to inspect your land. My heart raced. It's an old farm. Probably just faulty wiring in the barn. I'll have an electrician look at it. But I knew they wouldn't let it go. The surge had been too large to ignore. That night, I got an email from the Department of Energy requesting a meeting about unusual electromagnetic activity detected in the area. I needed help, real help. That's when I remembered Dr. Helen Chen, my favorite physics professor from Cornell. She'd always said I had a gift for theoretical energy systems. More importantly, she had government clearance and a reputation for integrity. I sent her Grandpa's journal and key research data. 3 days later, she arrived at the farm. My God, she whispered, examining the prototype. Your grandfather was decades ahead of his time. This could revolutionize clean energy production. But, she turned to me, you know they'll try to take it from you once this goes public. I nodded. That's why I need your help, not just with the science, but with protecting it. The next few months were a blur of activity. Dr. Chen helped me perfect the system while also connecting me with trusted patent lawyers and ethical investors. We worked in secret, knowing we'd only get one chance to announce this right. Then came the day that changed everything. My family had gathered at my parents' house for Amanda's going-away party before her London move. I sat quietly as they discussed her brilliant career prospects, occasionally casting pitying glances my way. At least the farm's good for something, my father said, sipping his wine. The power company called me again about buying the mineral rights. Might be time to cut your losses, Sarah. Actually, I said, sliding a newspaper across the table, you might want to read this first. It was tomorrow's edition, sent to me by the publisher. The headline read, Revolutionary Clean Energy Breakthrough Discovered in Rural America, Carter Electromagnetic Technologies, valued at $3.2 billion after first demonstration. The article detailed how my company, named for Grandpa, had successfully created and patented a groundbreaking sustainable energy system. The Department of Energy had already signed a preliminary contract. Major tech companies were fighting for licensing rights. The room fell silent. Amanda's wine glass stopped halfway to her lips. My father's hands shook as he read the article. That power surged 3 months ago, I said quietly. That wasn't faulty wiring. That was our first successful test of Grandpa's electromagnetic field generator. The mineral deposits under that worthless farm, they're essential to the technology. That's why he bought the land in the first place. My mother found her voice first. But, you've been living like a farmer, working in that old barn. The barn was a cover. The real work was happening underground, in Grandpa's secret lab. He left me everything, his research, his prototypes, his dreams of clean energy. All these months, I wasn't failing or having a crisis. I was finishing what he started. Dr. Chen chose that moment to walk in. Sarah, the Chinese delegation has arrived. They're very interested in licensing the technology for their renewable energy initiative. The next hour was surreal. My family watched in shock as I conducted a video conference with international energy executives, discussing technical specifications and licensing terms with confidence. Why didn't you tell us? Amanda asked later, her London plans suddenly seeming small in comparison. I thought about all the times they dismissed my choices, belittled my faith in Grandpa's farm. Would you have believed me, or would you have tried to take control, just like you always do? The transformation in my family was remarkable. My father, who'd spent months trying to convince me to sell the farm, now proudly told everyone about his daughter, the energy innovator. My mother finally stopped sending me job listings for real careers. A year later, Carter Electromagnetic Technologies had facilities on 3 continents. The prototype in Grandpa's lab had evolved into a full-scale power generation system. The worthless farm became a high-tech research campus, though I preserved the old barn exactly as it was, secret lab and all. I keep Grandpa's journal in my office, a reminder that sometimes the greatest opportunities look like worthless land to others. Sometimes success means believing in something no one else can see. Last week, I gave a graduation speech at Cornell's engineering school. Students asked me the secret to success. I told them about a farmer who saw the future in a patch of land everyone else dismissed. About having the courage to look beneath the surface. About knowing that true value isn't always visible to others. The farm is still my home. Every morning, I watch the sun rise over the fields where Grandpa once taught me to see beyond the obvious. The barn still stands, its secret lab now a private museum to one man's brilliant vision and another's faith. My family finally understands what Grandpa knew all along, that sometimes the greatest legacy isn't what you can see, but what you believe in enough to protect and nurture until it changes the world. As for that worthless inheritance, last month Forbes valued Carter Electromagnetic Technologies at $8.7 billion. But sitting in Grandpa's old workshop, surrounded by his notes and drawings, I knew the real value was never about money. It was about believing in something everyone else dismissed, about having the courage to stand alone until the world caught up to your vision. The Department of Energy now calls our technology the future of sustainable power. Environmental groups praise our zero-emission systems. But I still remember standing alone in front of that old barn, clutching a rusty key, choosing to believe in something no one else could see. Sometimes the best revenge isn't proving others wrong, it's proving yourself right.